Hello, everybody, and welcome to the state of my account for the month of October 2023. I almost forgot about it. It's something I do at the beginning of each month, just going over what I have done lately, what roster changes I've made, what I'm working on currently, and all that kind of stuff. I kind of do gear inventories, relic stuff. But I starting looking at my squad arena, fleet arena page. Nothing much has changed with fleets. I don't know if I had finished it off last time, but I finished off every single ship in the game. The last one, I wasn't Gauntlet, it was TIE Reaper. And I finally finished farming it. I don't really use it for anything, but it was the last one I had not at 7 stars. So I finished that off. My Leviathan is still a work in progress. So technically that is the last ship I have to get to 7 stars. I have a lot of crystals right now. I should get there in 2 months. Outside chance at it next time it comes around, but I'd have to get a good bit of crystals remaining. And we have a galactic chase coming up, so somehow I doubt it. I'll probably just bump it up to 6 stars and halfway to 7 stars and then get to that later. And in Squad Arena, you can see I have the Maul team with Imperial Super Commando and Arena at number 1. Just been playing around with that, although I can only face other teams that are close to me. And I actually put this in last night. At first I was going to swap it out so I didn't fall too far, but no one hit me. I've been in number 1 for a few days with the Lord Vader Reva comp, but no one touched this. Django is the tankiest, so he eats the whirlwind or the Force Sleeps from Cat, even if people use JMK. But against Lord Vader, it worked pretty well just because I put Watt in there. So really busted team. It's kind of fun while it lasts, but I don't think it'll last long enough for it to make any real difference. And now time to look at my recent developments on the account. So up top, I got my main updates and bumps I've made, and the bottom kind of more minor ones. But starting with the top 5. So in the past few months, I've been kind of on a roll with R9ing characters. And I'm going to click on one that's not R9 right now, just to help look at this. But this has been happening for a couple reasons. One, I don't have a clear target I'm working on. My Jedi Calrex don't require relics, and Princess Leia, I'm not going to really start working on those extras in earnest until I have good progress on the marquees. And I've had a good stockpile of droid breads for a while, but I'm actually getting low. I'm at 80, so I can afford 4 more. For a while, I was close to like 200. Gerda keypads, I've been farming the fusion furnaces, or the Mark 12 furnaces with fleet currency for a while now exclusively, and that makes it really easy to start getting these. It just piles up so much, and with the raid currency, I'm getting plenty of those other Mark 12 Gear 12 plus pieces, so I can afford to just farm that node. And then impulse detectors, also using the Mark 3 raid currency to get that, so that has helped me be ballooned a bit, but I am running low. So the first one I did, last month was General Skywalker. And I did this in response to Malicos coming out. Heard something fall upstairs, I hope you didn't hear that. But in response to Malicos coming out, I knew gas had to be taken up a notch, so I bumped him up to R9. He got lots of extra protection. I gave him crit damage triangle, so he now has crit damage and also more protection than he did before. Offense is pretty solid as well, not at 10,000, but almost there, and I actually had a lot of speed on him too, so I feel like my gas is pretty decked out. Next, I was farming kind of aimlessly my signal data, and I was like, hey, I can actually slap on another R9. And with all the complaining I've been doing about negotiator mirror matches when I come across them, Kenobi really stuck out to me. And also as a tank, I mean, he's one of the most R9 characters out there. Below Galactic Legends and like other fleet commanders, he is right up there. And he saw a great improvement. I forget what his health was before. It might have been closer to it wasn't that far over 100,000. Protection was at like under 80,000 or something, because I'm not focusing on that a lot with his mod set. I don't even know if I have a primary. Maybe I do have one primary protection. No, I don't have any primaries with protection. It's just all secondaries. But he has some good ones. So yeah, he is looking fantastic. I love his stats, and the fact that his fleet gets faster is just so nice. And following that, actually like 2 days ago, I gave it to Maul, because Maul is so important right now. He's being pulled so many different directions. Got the Super Commando rework. He's been amazing on Lord Vader for the longest time. A lot of people swear by him alongside Malicos, but I don't know. For now, I'm still going to use him with Lord Vader. In 3v3, I don't know. Maybe I'll bring Lord Vader on offense, do something else with Maul. We have to yet to see. In 5v5, there's a lot more compelling cases to split them up. Just because of what you can do with him without Lord Vader. But he benefits under Lord Vader from protection and health, so R9 was great there, gives him tons of extra damage too, on top of his physical offense boost. I don't know how good mine is, modded comparatively to others, but he has a lot of speed, and the health and protection is both boosted, which really benefits under Lord Vader, not necessarily on his own or under Malicos or anything. Under others, you just want pure health. Those are the 3 R9s, and I can't believe I have like 13 or 14 R9s right now. And until the Leviathan requirements came out, I only had 4. I had JML, Piet, Radis, and Malgus, and that's it. But now it feels like so many. And then, of course, we got Mr. Malicos. Still working on him. He's in my favorites because I was only able to apply 1 Omicron. I'm strapped for them. Only 4 more until I can apply it, though. Hopefully I'll get that within a week, I think. Hopefully before next Conquest, or next Grand Arena starts. But I think I've modded him pretty good. Plus 144 speed, 26k health, add additional, so he's at 89k, damage triangle, incidental potency and tenacity. Physical offense, 11.45 thousand, which I thought was pretty good. He doesn't really need more crit chance. He is doing just fine there. But this guy is such a beast, and I'm actually using him on Conquest because you need that riposte feat. I'm going to be using him with a Star Killer team under Seer lead with Dooku too, and then maybe Cam to get some armor shred too. I'm going to be doing that in Sector 4. It should be interesting. And then Iden, the bump on her was I took her from 5 to 7 just because this ship is so important. After I did, my own videos help me, just going through it helps me think of things that I didn't think of before. And when I did the ship ranking and just was thinking through what the best was, realized this is it, I was like, okay, I definitely have to bump her up. And I mean, it really pushed me when Chimera could lose based on TIE Defender's performance. But it's bulky as it can be, I guess. Speed, that's pretty fast for a ship, but physical offense, 13.5 thousand is really nice. This is such a fun ship. Even if I'm not using Iden too much more. In land Grand Arena, I have just, relished every extra piece of damage there. And Imperial Super Commando, I actually did this like yesterday. I was like, I should get in on this. I had kind of resisted for a while just because, it's gonna go away. The problem is, the true damage, they didn't even, I guess they didn't think about how much they did. Apparently it's 250% of their offense total, so I just slapped as much offense as I could on him. He doesn't do too much. It's Canderous that is doing a lot of it with his triple attack, and then Django if you have him. So I gave him, I'm kind of out of good mods, like offense mods, so I just sorted by, flat offense, because he doesn't have such a high offensive total, and I didn't care about speed at all. I just slapped some on. See, 100 there, none there, but it's a primary, just a little bit there. So, and let me see, maybe we can get a little bit more. Hey, there we go, just a little bit more. I don't know if he's even gonna be worth it, but I didn't bother upgrading Gar Saxon. I don't think you need him. I mean, this is it's just Darkside Mandalorian allies. If you're going to use Watt to get going, someone needs to go anyway, and Gar, not really worth it. I don't know how much, this is kind of nice, but it's not coming into play. I mean, this is a defensive thing. When this team works, you're not really getting hit that much. My only concern, and I don't even know if I have to worry about it too much, is the speed on my gauntlet is too high now. I don't know what the cutoff is. Maybe it's 155 is max you can have, or 156 for the profundity counter. Because you need it to go after their profundity goes, and Gauntlet gets a ton of extra speed here, plus 15 for each other active Empire ally. So it's getting plus 30 speed. No, plus 50, because it's the 20 plus the 30. That's a freaking fast ship. Might have to take some mods off Gar. Yeah, he has them, but I don't know. I mean, he's gear 12, but I don't care about adding more. I almost did take him to Relic 3, but I don't know. I'm addicted to using the Datacrons. I wanted to use a full one. But I'll do a battle with that at some point in this video. It's kind of fun. Not a ton to say about the rest of these. Wicket, Sherpa, and Zalbar were actually bumps. 5s, I didn't bump. I've just fundamentally changed how I modded him based around countering Malicos. And I've talked about that in Grand Arenas, but if you didn't see it, I just loaded him up with health. He gets some protection too, and health and speed is mainly what I cared about, because Malicos does so much damage with his AoE that by the time gas goes down, most of the team is out of protection anyway. So you just, I don't know, you don't even bother. Like, I don't know, you want to gain more health because there should be at full health before he goes down, and then make them even more survivable when 5s passes that out. And so far it works very well. I haven't lost yet. It came really close, and in the times it came close, if I didn't have health mods on all the 501st, it would have gone poorly. And I did a little bit of touch-ups on mods for like a lot of characters like a week ago during the last week of before the lock-in for the last week of Grand Arena, because I was like, yeah, I want to observe or review things I haven't touched in a while. Like, for example, I took a bunch of good mods off Sortie because she doesn't. I had her really fast. You don't need her to be so fast. So I kind of just reassigned stuff more efficiently. Chirpa, I need him at Relic 3, but I just bumped up to 1 in preparation for Conquest. But since they souped up the Bad Batch node, I don't know if I can even do this feat with Ewoks. I'm gonna have to wait until Bit Dynasty tells me how to do it. Or otherwise I won't. I think I'm going to go for the Tusken feat instead of Ewoks, because at least I can make progress on that. But when the whole Ewok team has to survive, and I have a Gear 11 Nisa, it's not really going to work. And then Zalbar, I took him to Gear 13 just for one of the Galactic Challenges. I was like, I have plenty of Gear 12 plus gears, so I could spare it for him. And those are my recent developments. Now let's look at what I am working on. Seer I have favorited just because I'm kind of working on the mods here and there, slicing them up. I need to slice her arrow, and Maliko's still working on. Nebbit is literally just here still to request these Mark V data pads for Bronzium wiring, because I had upped my Ewok Elder too far and I couldn't request that way. Nisa is at 5 stars. I think last time I did the review she was still at 3. Drogon's at 4, and since we can't farm him, that is only because of that like bonus pack from the web store, which I actually got a lot. I mean, I got 45 shards from that, which I was really happy with. I got 15 shards of Scout Trooper. So these 3 marquees are going to be my main holdup for Princess Leia, of course, as I talked about since they announced the requirements. Other than that, that's all I'm really actively farming. And it's going to be a while before I can do relics or anything, so that's why I kept getting like distracted and putting R9 on a bunch of good characters that I enjoy. Jedi Cal, I'm looking forward to him coming back. It's supposed to be, it seems like sometime around Halloween based on CG comments, that it's like spooky or whatever. I don't know when that actually means. I wish I had a date, like just give us a date so I can know. But looking forward to having him. That should be a game changer. I do have his Datacron. I have a lot of set 10 Datacrons, and I'll talk about these a little bit. So I have 2 for Cal. I do like this level 6. I think this one is pretty good. I mean, it looks great to me, actually, but I think, is the other one good too? Okay, this is the one that's not as good. I don't like that level 6 or that level 3. The stats are decent, but I had a lot of luck with set 10 just because of how easy it was to get data cache, and how many Mark II, Mark III mats we got from scrapping. But I think for set 11, I'm not going to get as many. This is my favorite level 6, the whole set. A Jedi damage reduction because it has widespread application. And it's really nice that I got so many because they were so cheap. Because in 3v3, I'm going to have almost enough to float. I probably will have enough to like have everyone working with the Datacron. So there's 7 across, 3.21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 26 at level 7 or higher, 25 at level 8. Use at least 30 in Grand Arena. I already have 5 from the next set. They're not very polished, but I have them to work with. Already got some that I like. I got the defense conversion to offense with Imperial Troopers. Not sure exactly how much that's going to be, but I do have the offensive buffs and the good defensive stats. We're not going to get too many offensive stats. It's only crit damage, and I'm not too concerned about that if I'm thinking about like Dark Trooper. I would like to reroll this accuracy. For Rebels, I think I have one good one, one crappy one. So this one might be good for Mon Mothma. It's the fewer than 2 buffs. So I love the offensive buff boost, but if you have this one, you don't really want that on the level 3. So it's kind of nice how we have it. And most of the stats are good except the accuracy there. Might be good for Mon Mothma, I'm not sure. Ewoks, I don't want that. I'm not going to be able to use it. This Rebel one, not really great. I mean, when Rebel damage enemy with an ability, I mean, it kind of works with that, like gain 10 protection up for 2 turns. Well, maybe that does work pretty well. I mean, this gives tenacity up, and that gives protection up based on tenacity. So, I don't know, maybe it will work. I don't know. I still would prefer the damage reduction. And then here, I got a riposte, which is nice, but I think I haven't actually used rerolls. I don't like this ability. I'm going to have to reroll that, but I got bad stats. I mean, I got 2 accuracy to reroll. If I end up with Visas here, I definitely will invest to reroll. But that's what my Datacrons are looking like right now. I lost 25 million data cash from the dusting because they didn't give me enough mats to spend on Datacrons. It was too hard to get more Datacrons. I could farm them in time, and I was also held up and waste energy because of how ridiculously hard so many of these mini bosses and bosses are. So maybe I would have wasted a few million less if Conquest wasn't in the state it is. But it is, so it's been kind of a rough go with my Datacrons. And just a quick look at a few things. I always kind of look at my relic inventory. I got 1,000 carbonite circuit boards. Got 1,200 bronzium wiring, 2,000 chromium transistors, rhodium heat sinks. Never going to really run out of them because of Mark 1 raid currency buying, Mark 3 hall projectors, electrum conductors, and Zibils. I'm probably going to have to make a relic farming guide. I don't know if I've done that, but I should probably make a relic farming or node farming guide at some point, or a video about that, just because I mean, not everyone knows how to efficiently use all the resources, so it's worth covering, I believe. Then as far as gear, I guess the easiest way to check would be the raid store. I'm floating like 200 to 70. Well, actually, the relic mats would still be easy too. 200 to 400 of all like the relic 12 plus pieces. I'm actually getting low on relic 12, like the left side pieces. Oh, this one's only at 60. That's pretty bad. Because I don't know, I've been kind of strapped for shard sharp currency, and I am spending it every time I see the good stuff that I'm low on, but I can't really keep up. And 21,000 now, but I run out of it pretty quickly. And, you know, I spend the Mark 1 guild event get 1 tokens on stuff like that, but there's only so much you actually have for that. And I have been gear 13ing a lot of characters recently, so that's why I'm getting strapped for those. I just need some time to sit back and build back up those stores, and I think we'll be fine. The thing I'm not hurting on, though, is Chirotex. I'll just pull up for this. On the dark side one, I have 831, and light side I have 822, so pretty even. I only farmed the light side node because it's a better node, and then try to buy the dark side from shipments. But I've already brought these marquees up to Gear 11 and applied any Chirotech I can. These can't be Chirotech. The only other Chirotech for them is Gear 12 to Gear 13. So I am sitting pretty on Chirotechs. Maybe the last thing I want to do is just do a battle with Imperial Super Commando for fun. I guess this guy forgot to add a new Datacron because it was a set 9 that dusted. I don't feel good about Kenobi, so let me just use this one. And another reason I wanted to bump up ISC to Relic 3 so I could use this 36% offense. That was a great roll on offense. Really makes Maul hit pretty hard. Well, actually, it's not as much as I was expecting. But Canderous, I have him on it for just offense of 13,000. That really helps out melting people. So let's do it. This, you know, the enemy team really suffers with that Datacron. They don't have the thickness, so they're kind of melting really fast. In theory, you don't really care what tech you give to who, because you just want to give a turn. But I've been killing people. People have ended up dying to Django more often than not. So we'll give it to him. And look at like that was one from Riva. Jeez. Actually, I should have put her on Maul with how much he's doing here. That'll kill it. Okay, not quite. Okay, Django still didn't get it, so proving me wrong in that regard. Ooh. Grand Inquisitor decided to ruin our party, but yeah, this doesn't work really well against like the Riva Inquisitor build, because Grand Inquisitor, but it's still fun. I mean, you see how much they melt through that team, and that's it. We are done for. Couldn't even quit fast enough, but it's a fun team. I don't know what practical use it's gonna have. I mean, if they fix it before next TW, we're not going to be able to use that. 3v3, I don't know what you really use, like maybe Maul, Canderous, and ISC, but then you don't really have a speed advantage. You just need to rely on your Maul being faster. Might be an option for me, because I have it at 340, but you have to invest significant speed on the Maul to make that viable at all. Alright, so I said that arena battle would probably be the last thing I do, but I did want to pop it in Conquest, because this is an abnormal Conquest. Of course, I made the video on the Sector 1 mini-boss, which is ridiculous, and the Sector 3 one. I've got a lot of questions about Jabba. People seem to have figured out the Rancor. Bit Dynasty made a great video where Imperial Troopers are actually working it. But I actually 3-starred this, and, you know, got it... with all dark side characters, because I can't show it. I haven't really made a video on it because I used Dr. Aphra, which a lot of players don't have, so I don't even know if I wanted to do a video for it, because just showing people, oh, this is what you can't do. Like newer players, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of hard to swallow if it's like, oh yeah, you can beat it with Aphra, it's so easy, but so many people don't have Aphra. So I didn't want to do it there. Basically because I have a lot of Amplify Agony, and I have a crappy Volatile Accelerator. This one's terrible, like 1 damage over time. You need the green or blue. I just haven't found any. Aphra and BT1 were able to get lots of buffs, debuffs on them, pretty much melt the whole supporting cast, get a bunch of debuffs on Jabba, and your only hope is to use Merciless Massacre with Darth Vader, and make sure you don't make the mistake of thinking that Jabba can get a free attack on Jabba with Merciless Massacre. He doesn't get the Merciless Massacre target over his head because it's a taunt effect and he's immune to them. So make sure you call Jabba when he has a lot of debuffs. If someone else is alive, use Force Crush on them and then chuck the blade at Jabba. And that worked well for me. So, I mean, not a lot of people have that. And last night I camped out on Sector 3, trying to get as many Datacron mats as possible, just to upgrade as much as I could before set 9 dusted, and I lost a lot of data cache. I was able to spend between like 5 and 10 million, but not too much. Now, the real moneymaker is Sector 4. Without those Mark III mats, it's hard to actually spend a lot of data cache. So I'm working through here. I don't know if Mon Mothma will be a hard boss, or if... Oh, this is probably going to be a hard boss. Mandalorians... Appeal to the good in Darth Vader and persuade him to save you from the Emperor. The abilities to... Okay, I guess this is the throne room thing from Return of the Jedi. I like Darth Vader. Okay, so this is the Wampa thing. Received by 75%. When they attack, they deal more damage based on their remaining health and protection. Whenever an enemy is defeated, all allies recover 60% health. The enemy leader gains the ability Persuasive Appeal. Why is it that enemy leader? I don't know. That might be a nightmare. So we'll see how that is when we get to it. But that's how I've been doing in Conquest. Working away on the feats. I haven't done anything towards the Ewoks, but I've been playing around with Tusken Warrior, trying to call assists and stuff. Not too worried about Wookiees or Phoenix, so it's kind of working out for me. Sorry to say, I don't want to rub it in anyone's face if they're having a hard time, but I think I'll be fine with this. It was just really annoying wasting energy and losing a lot of data cache, so it ended out to be just a pretty big annoyance to me. But hopefully the make good they're talking about for this conquest is worthwhile. I saw Arnold's video about why he thought they were doing it this way. It seemed like a logical argument. I think there's a lot of truth to that they were trying to incentivize using consumables, and like only having one consumable or like one use per consumable, it was just ridiculous the way they went about it. Like supercharging these mini bosses, terrible way to go about it. But anyway, that aside, this has been the state of my account for this month. I was actually pretty excited about all these developments, especially the R9s, and just really a fun time playing and developing my account. Still enjoying the game. I don't know how after so many years of playing it, but I do. So anyway, don't forget to like if you did enjoy the video, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Thanks, guys. I will see you in the next one.